Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, Trump's team and his allies are just imploding. They are melting down. They're attacking everyone, including each other. They're insulting and alienating large portions of the population, veterans, teachers. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but first, I wanted to share with you what has everyone so spooked, why these people are freaking out the way they are. This right here, what I'm going to show you, is Republican pollster and focus group guru Frank Luntz. This guy is considered to be the expert in Republican politics. He's explaining in this video that you're going to see how the race has shifted towards Harris. Check this out.
She's bringing out people who are not interested in voting for either Trump or Biden. So the entire electoral pool has changed. And if it continues in this direction, you have to start to consider Democrats winning the Senate and Democrats winning the House. The actual people who are participating, she's got intensity now. She's got an intensity advantage. She's got a demographic advantage. And I haven't seen anything like this happen in 30 days in my lifetime.
So you can see why Don Old and his crew are wetting their panties, right? And the polling is backing up what Luntz is hearing in these focus groups. Yesterday, Cook Political Report had released their latest swing state project. This is a survey that they conduct in swing states. So they hadn't done this poll since May, back when Biden was the nominee. Back then, Trump was leading by a 3-point average across all of these states. With Harris at the top of the ticket, Trump's lead is completely vanishing. So as you can see here, in head-to-head matchups with Harris and Trump, she leads Trump in 5 out of the 7 swing states, and they're tied in one of them. So the only state where Trump maintains a lead is in Nevada, where he has 3%. But Harris is even eaten into that margin because Trump was leading Biden in that state by 9 in May. So she has dwindled that down quickly. And when Cook surveyed voters and included third-party candidates, Harris did even better. In most of the states, she did better. So Nevada, again, was an outlier. That's where Trump was leading by 3. He jumped up to 5 with other candidates in the mix. Quinnipiac also released a poll for the very crucial state of Pennsylvania. Among likely voters, Harris is ahead by 3. And that's regardless of whether or not third-party candidates are factored in. She owes this lead, by the way, in Pennsylvania, in large part to female voters. So Harris is leading with Pennsylvania women by 13%. Now, Trump is leading still with men, but not by the same margin, only by 7%. And Luntz says he's seeing a big shift in his focus groups among female voters. So check out this part of the video.
You can see how many young women are participating now. They're the ones that switched. They're the ones that went either from undecided or supporting Kennedy. And you've noticed that Kennedy's numbers have completely imploded. They either supported Kennedy, Trump, or undecided. And they are so excited about this younger, fresher woman running that you can see it and feel it in their intensity, in their passion, and in their desire for change. Younger women are absolutely focused on that because they see someone who looks like them. And I can't emphasize that enough. It's a validation of who they are and what they want to be. And for Trump to be rude about that or abusive about that is a big mistake.
So not good for Trump. And here's the thing. It's not just female voters that have an issue with Trump. And it's not just Trump that's the problem. It's also his very creepy running mate, J.D. Vance. You know, the guy who tries to act like a human. Like, seriously, he's like a mini DeSantis. What's clear from listening to these participants in this focus group is that the Republican Party is just way too extreme. So as you watch this clip of these focus group members, I'm going to show you right now, keep in mind, These are conservatives. These are people who have voted for the Republican Party in the past. Take a look at this.
For me, it's more of an issue with Donald Trump and the options that are now available.
Switched over primarily because of the lack of respect coming from one side of the Republican Party. I do believe that the far right has taken over the Republican Party.
I switched because J.D. Vance scares the heck out of me.
I actually was a Trump voter in 16 and 20, and it was despite his personality and a lot of the other extra issues. However, when he chose J.D. Vance, it kind of pushed me over to having an open mind.
I don't want to be taken over by Christian nationalists with Project 2025. And J.D. Vance is probably the most unlikable American I can possibly think of to run our country.
So, of course, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are toning things down. Just kidding. They're as batshit crazy as ever. I shared the other day with you guys, when Trump did that Twitter Spaces with Elon Musk, the two of them were laughing about firing union workers who planned to strike. Well, Frank Luntz had some thoughts on that as well. Check this one out.
Why is Donald Trump saying publicly, I want to fire the same people that he's getting now, still getting union members? It's ridiculous. It's as though he's lost control. And I know that there are billionaires who watch this show who are spending a lot of money on Donald Trump, and they don't understand why he's committing political suicide.
So their donors are calling it political suicide. And the head of the Teamsters Union, the guy who spoke at the Republican convention, said that Trump's comments amount to, quote, economic terrorism. So, how are they handling this? Well, J.D. Vance just went out and doubled down on this campaign strategy. And he lied to the audience at a Michigan rally as if they're idiots. Vance claims that Trump and Musk were just talking about the Twitter employees. They weren't talking about Tesla. They were talking about Tesla employees, just Twitter, as if that makes it any better. Right? Like, oh, okay. Well, as long as you're just going to fire Twitter employees who try to unionize or strike. Yeah. And Trump's team and his allies are not helping him. They're making matters worse, if anything. So check this out. Check out what a Trump spokesperson had to say about vice presidential nominee Tim Walz.
He's never held a real job in his life, by the way. He spent all of his life running for Congress, running for office, or in office.
So that woman that you heard there, her name, by the way, is Caroline Sunshine. How ironic, right? Yeah, she's so sunshiny. Anyway, Ms. Sunshine basically just told teachers and veterans, you're not working real jobs. You guys are lowlifes. You guys aren't doing anything, right? Tim Walz served in the military for 24 years. He worked as a high school teacher and a coach for 10 years. So, did you hear that, veterans? Did you hear that, teachers? The Trump campaign doesn't think you're working a real job. That's basically what she just said. I mean, after all, Trump did call deceased veterans suckers and losers, so, why wouldn't his campaign spokesperson feel the same, right? They obviously don't have a problem. She obviously doesn't have a problem with his reprehensible denigration of our servicemen and women. So there you go. And obviously, this woman's comments, I don't have to tell you guys, they are beyond hypocritical. She works for the silver spoon up his ass, Nepo baby, draft dodger, Donald Jerkoff Trump. That's who she works for. Donald Trump, whose daddy gave him the equivalent of $400 million because even his dad knew what an idiot and a loser he was, that he would never amount to anything on his own. The same daddy who paid off a doctor to lie and say that Trump couldn't serve in the Vietnam War because of bogus bone spurs. And little Miss Sunshine here went on to question Wall's retirement before his troop was deployed. She kept calling him AWOLs, as if, he just ran out on his service. And she asked, how many military members died because he refused to go with his troop? Really? Really, Ms. Mary Sunshine? Why don't you tell us how many people died in the Vietnam War while your cowardly boss was sitting over in the corner sucking his thumb and on his father's teat? And Trump's other surrogates aren't doing much better. Trump humper Laura Loomer is pissed off. She's losing her mind because there's this new group that just formed in support of Harris. They're called Evangelicals for Harris. So Loomer, who's Jewish, by the way, decided this is not okay. She is totally upset about this. She is freaked out, had a meltdown online. So Evangelicals for Harris trolled her a little bit, and they said, "We're going to pray for you." So that sent Loomer completely over the edge, as if she wasn't already. She wrote back, quote, "I don't want your fake prayers. Your prayers have no value because the prayers of charlatans are self-serving and void of sincerity. Save them for your black supremacist friends who called on white people to divest from whiteness." She's so out of it. And former Fox host Dan Bongino, he is so terrified about what's going on, about this race slipping away from Trump. He threatened Kellyanne Conway. I know that sounds bizarre, so I'll explain. Trump is never to blame. He is never to blame for his own failures. His cult just will twist themselves into pretzel logic, trying desperately to come up with excuses for why it's not him, it's you. It's why his candidacy is tanking has to be everybody else's fault, cannot possibly be his fault. And Bongino says that claims that he has insider knowledge that Kellyanne Conway is sabotaging Trump's current advisors, Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles. So Bongino was talking about all this. He was on his podcast this week, and he said specifically to Conway, quote, "You've been warned. So let the circular firing squad begin." I love it. This is awesome. And Trump is now trying to get his sentencing delayed for his 34-count criminal conviction. So you guys all know it's scheduled for next month. He wants to delay it until after the election because, that's going to make a huge difference. That's how he's trying to shore up support. That's what he's doing. That's his contribution to this campaign. As if, that will make such a big difference. People will forget who Trump is and what he stands for and, what he's all about. And that, he has been found liable in a court of law of sexually assaulting a woman, that he's a convicted felon and all the rest. You guys know. Liar, hustler, con man, liar, cheater, thief, steals from people who have nothing. Don't say we didn't warn you, Republicans. We tried to tell you. We told you the apricot antichrist was not a good thing, was not a good choice. It was a mistake. But that's the crazy horse you decided to ride. So have fun with that. Just hold on tight to those reins. Anyway, I will let you all know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.